Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Ndinaija, aka Nkonye, aka Ekpedeme, aka Ebirichi. So, what we're about to do here is to cook some food, alright? We're making a very simple dish. Whoops. We are making an egg bake, which is why you see a large thing with about 9 eggs here. So there's not much measurement going to go on. I'm not very used to cooking with measurements, so please bear with me. So I have this, what size is this? 7 by 11 Pyrex pan, and we're gonna cook this essentially vegetable egg bake that will be used for breakfast. So I have 9 eggs here. I'm not sure if it'll fit. I have some plantains. You don't need to add plantains. I just wanted to make it a little heartier, if that's the word. And then there's some zucchini and squash. I think I'll use about 1.5 of these and 1 of these. And then there are mushrooms, sliced mushrooms. You can basically add whatever you want that will bake. So I'm going to boil the plantains, half boil them, or parboil them, whatever it's called, for about 10 minutes, and then you'll see how I make the stuff up. So I'm going to go off camera for a little bit and boil that. When I come back, you're going to see me chopping these up. Oh, I was saying that you could add whatever you want. You could add bell peppers if you like. Tomatoes would make it very wet, so maybe you don't want to do tomatoes. But if you do add bell peppers, scoop out the insides and the seeds and just chop it up and you should be fine. You could also add carrots if they're already soft, or some mixed vegetables like you get from the grocery store. But those mixed vegetables have corn in it, which doesn't agree with my system, so quickly add it. All right. Let's get to boiling, or rather chopping and boiling. See ya. Alright, so while the plantains are boiling, I'm going to get to chopping, and yeah, we'll go from there. Now you can make it any size you want. I typically just put it into little quarters like this. There you go. And I'm going to chop up the plantains like this when I'm done also. So yeah. Alright, so the zucchini is done. The plantain is on the boil. I'll show you that. Let's take this off of here. Alright. So plantain is boiling. Should be half done. I'll take it off the fire now. Or as we say in Nigeria, I'll take it off the fire now. Then I will allow the heat to cook the remaining, and then it needs to cool down a bit before it goes into there and here. So I'm just going to season this up a little bit, add the mushrooms, and we will proceed. Alright, let me see how much of this I want to add. This is a lot, so I think I'm going to freeze the remainder of it. I think I'm going to slice these a little smaller, just so that they're uniform with the rest of the vegetables. Yeah, you don't have to, but you know, it's just one of those things. And you saw that I added some celery for a bit of crunch. You could also add bacon bits, or you just make some bacon and then sprinkle the bacon throughout. That'll give it a nice crunch and a nice smoky flavor. I would imagine that liquid smoke would be good, maybe if you're adding some sausage, maybe, but you know, eggs can be kind of delicate, so you don't want to go too heavy-handed on spices and additives. It's really very similar to I think they call it a dump cake. Yeah, but this time it's just eggs. Alright, so chop away. Need to take a hand washing break. I'll be right back. Alrighty, time to season up these good boys. Do the thing in here with the spray thing. This is avocado oil. You can use whatever you want. Maybe even a little bit of butter. And I will start with my favorite. But if you're sensitive to spice or seasoning, please don't. So I'm just going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Whoops, I lost a little bit there. A little bit of fresh ginger, just a teeny bit, as you can see. Some garlic, again a teeny bit. So I don't know if I'll call that half a teaspoon. Yeah, maybe half a teaspoon. Ooh, excuse me. Grandma wants to help me cut the plantain, so she's in the background moseying on about. This is some garlic sriracha. Alright. We're going to add a little bit of dash. A little bit of Mrs. Dash, that is. And the reason I'm seasoning this, I will season the eggs also, but just so that when you bite into it, you know, you have a little bit of flavor coming at you. And then a little bit of turmeric, and that's that. Now, I typically don't cook with salt, but, you know, I'll add a little bit just because we have a lot of vegetables and, yeah. Okay. So do that. If you want to marinate this, you could put it in the fridge after you toss it all up. Where's the salt? Over there. Salt has lasted a while. That should be enough. Yeah, that's enough. I'm not going to add any into the eggs. That's that, and then you just toss it like that. Toss, toss, toss. Being careful while you toss. And notice I also did not add any onions to this. A good thing to add is onions. I didn't add any onions because my stomach is sensitive. But if you put the red onions or the white onions, man, it'll be so flavorful. So I'm going to cover this for a few minutes. Yeah, and allow the juices, there are no juices, but just allow the spices to go into the vegetables a little bit. I wonder if I should add more garlic. Let me smell it. Ah, fragrant, yes. I think there's just enough so that we do not overwhelm the mix. And let me show you what Grandma's doing over here. Let's take this out. Now, Grandma's cutting the plantains. They're about half cooked. I think they're half cooked. Are they half cooked? Yeah. So they're about...
Sometimes you don't have to cook them if you cook them this size, really. Next time.
Yeah, but I want it to be...
To
be sure that it will cook.
It will cook.
And...
Which one? The bowl behind you.
It's being used for my stabilization. But anyway, let me get her a bowl so I will be back. But yeah, so the plantains are half cooked. I'm not using all three. I think about half of them, so 1.5 plantains would be used for this recipe. And I'm making it up as I go, so let's see how this goes. I've made similar recipes or similar things before, but it's basically a bunch of eggs, a bunch of veggies, spices, and that's that. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, so Grandma's done with the plantains. We're going to put this in the freezer to cool, and the rest of the plantains are just going to go in the fridge. Now, if you're boiling plantains, you should just wash it off and leave the back on it, boil it, and you can use that to eat some sauce or, whatever you want. You can just make a ground beef sauce. I don't know if I'm making the crack slaw on camera. Well, maybe some other time. You could also boil it without the back. So I'm going to add some cayenne pepper, or dry pepper as we call it. I'm going to add some cayenne pepper to this, along with some of these. Put them in the freezer, and then I'll come back and season the eggs and see if it's enough to go in that pan. Alrighty? Oh, did you want to see what spices we add? I guess so. This is supposed to be a cooking video after all, isn't it? This thing is hoto. A bit of the sriracha, just a teeny bit. Let me give you the turmeric. And Mrs. Dash on that stuff. So we're lightly sprinkling it. A teeny bit of turmeric, teeny. Grandma goes heavy-handed on the turmeric. That's enough, that's enough, that's enough. I need to add a little bit of ginger. Oh, sorry, no, not ginger, garlic. You can add. I added ginger to this one. That's enough. So just toss, toss, toss. As it's getting tossed, it's cooling down a smidge. Then it'll go into the freezer for 2 minutes or so. And then 2 minutes, right? They're about. There's no space in the freezer. Alright. Let's get back here. Season the eggs. I'm sorry, y'all. But this is my first cooking video, and I hope everything is making sense. I'm just going to start with the Mrs. Dash. A dash of dash. A dash of dash. And then we shall add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Oh yeah, I know. So, a smidge of cayenne pepper. A little bit of curry. So y'all notice that our food is very flavorful. Very flavorful, so yeah. What's in the worry this curry stuff? Yo, this curry is not agreeing with me. You know what? Fine. I'm gonna open y'all up. Let's get a little spoon here. And that's too much. Alright. So that's that. And now we don't need to add any, what's it called? Garlic or ginger, because we've added it to, voila. And now you just whisk it. Where's the real whisk? I don't know. I'm just used to using a fork. So whisk, whisk, whisk away. I'll be whisking this, and I think I'll just speed this up. Alright, so we're whisked, and now it's time to start. So I'll see if this is enough. I'm going to put these vegetables in, and then we will wait for the plantains to be done. I should get me a small spoon and gently place this. So I will be back 1 second. Alright, time to do our addition. And the reason those are still here is just in case the eggs are insufficient. So slowly spread. You could also do this in layers if you wish. You know, have one layer of the yellow squash, have another layer of the zucchini, another layer of celery and onions. That should be the middle layer if you're doing this in layers, by the way. And then, whoops, we lost a few. Careful. Yeah, and we just do that. So the eggs appear to be insufficient, and I'm going to add 3 eggs to this, which will make it 12, which makes sense for this size of pan. Let's see. Yes, I think I'll add 3 eggs. That's about it. Whoops, taking you all out of frame. Okay, I'm going to use the eggs and get some of the spices out of here, and I'll be back when it's time to put the plantain. Alright, 1 second. Alrighty, so it's been a few minutes. I took the plantains out of the freezer. You just need to put them in for like 2 minutes, but for next time, according to Grandma, we're not going to boil the plantains, or parboil the plantains. You know, you just bring the water to a boil as the plantains are inside, and then you take it out just so that it starts to cook. Because sometimes, depending on the type of plantain you buy, the plantain might be hardier than the zucchini. So right now, the zucchini and the plantain should be at about the same hardiness, if that's the word. No, not texture. Texture is not the word I'm looking for. So I'm just going to mix this through a little bit, and that's that. So we have 12 eggs, 1.5 plantains, 1.5 zucchinis, 1 squash, a couple of mushroom slices, and 12 eggs. Next time I think I'll reduce the number of eggs. Well, that's that. The oven, I'm taking this out of the frame or the thing. So that's about what it looks like. And you're gonna have to watch it while you're putting it in. The oven is preheated to about 350, and we're just going to place this carefully in the middle. It should cook for about 20 minutes. Yeah, so about 20 minutes on 350-degree heat, opened, and we will check it in about 15 or so minutes to see if a knife would go in and come out cleanly. That's when you know that it's done. So that's that. Oven closed, and we will be right back. All right, it's over, and this is what it looks like. Let's see if it's done. It doesn't appear to be done. Let's bring the thing. Alrighty. Nope, it's way from done. Can you see this? You see how it's shaking? Yeah, so it's gonna be there probably another 20 minutes. I think I will raise the temperature to 375. Maybe it should be 400. But if I were to read directions, that would not be me. So this is way not what we want. Alright, just gonna go in for some more time, and the oven will start screaming again. Raise it to 375. Start timer. I'm gonna make it 15 minutes this time. Just because we have about half of it undone. But you can see how nicely it's yellowing on the sides. Alrighty. Meanwhile, I'm on a roll. I'll show you guys. I'm trying to make, what is this called? What some people would call crack slaw. You guys want to see me make it? No? Alright, see you guys later. Bye. Okay guys, it's now been about 30 minutes. I added another 15 minutes to the time there, just so that the eggs would cook. And let's see if it's ready. It looks nice and brown. It's raised. Yep. I believe we have liftoff. Woohoo! So it's done. Time to get it out, and you portion it out for your day or week, and you have breakfast for a couple days. The family has breakfast for a couple days. You can eat just this, or you can, you know, put it with a slice of toast. But this is Whole30 approved, Paleo. It is not keto because of the plantain, but you can easily make it keto by eliminating the plantain. In fact, if you look for recipes on an egg bake or vegetable egg bake, you will most likely will not see plantains in it. So that's that. I have got to make some crack slaw. Alright, see y'all later. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks y'all for watching my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications. Alright, thanks y'all.